Good morning, my loves. Hope you're all doing great. This week's video is part 2 of this gorgeous curtain we initially transformed to a jumpsuit, so feel free to check that out first if you haven't already. That I transformed to this culotte set, which I love, but I'd honestly still change a few things on the shorts if I had more time, but I'm still happy all the same. So if you'd like to see how all this came about, then just keep watching. I started by tracing the shorts with a favorite pair of pants and cut out my pattern like so. I then opened the sides up and put them aside. Next, I checked to see if I could get the belt band and cut it out and trimmed the ragged edges and placed it aside. Next, I traced my coat pattern with a dress because this was a design I was trying out first. And I still haven't found my pattern, so that still sucks. I then proceeded to cut it out. Next, I cut out the sides with reference to my measurements. I then took the front pieces and matched them together. I cut out my preferred design pattern. I hoped to have this coat double layered, so I did everything to try match each pattern, but realized I only had enough to have the back body's pieces double layered and decided to just run with it. I then took this curtain edge and opened it up. An idea came to mind here and I was happy because it ensured I made maximum use of this whole piece. Next, I proceeded to stitch the back body's pieces together. I then match these two joint pieces together with the wrong side facing up and stitch it around from one armhole to the other like so. Next, I ripped the edges of the curves for a good spread when inverted and pressed it with an iron. I then hemmed the front body's piece arms with my favorite pattern stitch. Next, I took the edge strip and cut it in half, then proceeded to iron it like so. This I tacked the open front body's piece to and pinned it in place like so. Next, I used my favorite pattern stitch to lock it in place. And this is how it looked. Next, I proceeded to stitch the layered back piece in place. I then cut and undid the remaining edge strip to only have the white strip with the rope. This I pinned and stitched along the bottom edge and did overlock for a clean finish. And this is how it looked. I was really happy with this turnout. Next, I took the shorts pattern and stitched the crotch together for both pieces and installed this zip off camera with an outline using my favorite pattern stitch. I then made box pleats like so and proceeded to secure them down with long running stitches. I did the same for the back piece and counter-checked the measurements, then took the waistband strip and ironed it like so. Next, I split it in half and tacked the open shorts top into it and stitched them in place. I did the same for the front piece and inserted some pocket flaps off camera and stitched the sides down. I did the same for the other side and joined the inner section, starting from the center to ensure an even flow but not all the way down. I opened the bottom sides as well and pressed the hem like so, then stitched all the inner and outer sides down. I then did my favorite decorative pattern stitch around the hem for a precise finish, and this is how it looked. I added this interlocking fastener and did overlock to the entire shorts, then pressed it, and with that I was all done. Here's a final look, and I feel like I definitely changed one or two things on the shorts after it came together, but promise that I still love it just as much and can't wait to rock it out. Do share your thoughts on this and let me know if this is something that you would wear. Until the next one, bye my loves.